I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this fun card that kind of has this tower. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this card on my website. It has all the measurements and all the directions that you'll need. And I also have links for the products that I used. All you need to do is click those links and it'll take you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. So this looks complicated, but it really is not. I'm using this huge, I guess they call it a mega suite, that comes with Flowers of Beauty and the Flowers of Beauty die, and the Unbounded Love and the Unbounded Love dies. Save some time. I use this die to cut out some Petunia Pop cardstock, and it's very pretty and delicate. And I use this die to cut out my white, basic white cardstock, so that leaves that stitching. It also has a similar die that cuts out this oval, but I wanted to use these two together. It's got some other beautiful labels and leaves. Really nice set. I also love the greetings on here. And so I used Happy Birthday, which fits nicely on there. And I used Celebrate in here, but it kind of just barely fits. So I am suggesting that you use Just For You. And I think you'll find that fits better. And we'll be using this die and stamp set in just a little bit. I want to get started on the card base. So this is a standard card base, and I did use the heavy with basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4 with a few other score lines. I scored it at 4 1/4, 5.5, 6 3/4, and 8. And that gives you this 1/2 inch flap, basically. And then it's got 3 panels that are 1 1/4 inches. And I've got 3 pieces of the Designer Series paper, and these are 5 1/4, and these are 1 inch, and this is 1 1/4, I believe. This is actually 1 1/2. So this piece goes over here. There is an up and a down, so kind of pay attention to that. And I'm putting this over here on the large section with an 1/8 inch border. So I'm going to put tear and tape on near the fold on that 1/2 inch section. I have fingernails, so I can usually get those tear and tape backings off, but if you don't have fingernails, or if you have trouble, use the take your pick tool or another piercing tool if you have one. I also have an awl in my stamping stuff. No. So then you want to fold it on this first section and then just close the card. So you've got the 1/2 inch and then 1 1/4 inch panel. Just close it, and that gives you a perfectly aligned panel, and it lays flat. Then we want to put Designer Series paper on these 2 pieces. You could also put designer series paper on this piece. I didn't, but you could certainly do that. Again, this paper has an up and a down. So when it's laying closed, you see designer series paper. When it's open, it still gives you enough space to write, and you could actually write on this section too if you'd like. And I am going to stamp in Peach Pie right in the middle here. Happy birthday. And just for you. So I'm going to want to put that kind of up here. So I want to put just for you in that same section. And then I want to stamp my flowers. My directions, I said to use a 4 by 5 1/4. I've already cut this up, but this is plenty to cut this and this with. These two stamps look pretty close, although this one's, you can see it's all dyed. Anytime you use the red inks, they tend to stain. But this one's more solid. Up at the top, it's got leaves, full leaves. This one has just little lines, and it's more open here. We're going to stamp the solid one and the orange. And I always like to start with the more solid stamps. I find it easier for centering it, getting it aligned when you go to the second one. And then I'm using the Petunia Pop for the more detailed stamp. And again, when you're aligning, you want to get your head right over this. So I'm pulling it under my head so I don't stick my head in the camera too much. I always want to aim for something near the top and near the bottom. And it's not perfect, but that is totally fine. You'll see. And now I want to cut these out. So I have my light gray number 3 plate. You may want to use the white one. It's the one that's designed for this. A number 2 clear plate. This one's not so cut up. And my cardstock. I'm using this die that's kind of open. Still pretty detailed though. Grab a piece of tape and line it up as best as I can. And being off does make it a little harder to figure out where I'm going with it. Cover it up with another number 2 plate and roll it through. All that cracking and popping is just fine. And I think that that's just beautiful. I want to use my silicone mat, especially for this piece because it's so fine. And I will show you, I've got a pretty steady hand with the glue, but you just need a little tiny dot. And I have found that if you put the glue tip down and squeeze it till you get the little bit of white showing, lift the glue bottle, you'll have plenty of glue on here. And I also store my glue tip down. So I have made myself a holder with a washer and a PVC pipe end, a joiner. And I like that, but there's a ton of ways you can use a lot of, I don't know, jar lids. See what you can find that your bottle of glue fits in. And I'm putting this just on the outside of that stitching, actually kind of right on the stitching. And I'm using mini glue dots for here. Okay. And I just want a little bit, like just a little bit of this lovely peach pie ribbon. So maybe, I don't know, is that 4 or 5 inches? And I'm just folding it in half and cutting it so that's a flagged end there. And my recording stopped just as I was finishing up this card. So I think I was putting on this glue dot. So I've got one glue dot here between the V of this ribbon and 1 or 2 underneath to hold it in place. And I wanted that to be kind of diagonal off to the side here. I've used liquid glue here. You can put this anywhere here. I want to have it pretty much even with that part. And you could actually have it off this way. So that it actually hangs over this way a little bit. Or you can have it not hang off like I did on here. And then we're going to put this on. And I pulled up. So we want to have this be not covering up our words, not going below here. It can go beyond this 1 1/4 inch piece. In fact, I kind of like it hanging off the side like that. And I didn't show you that I stamped the envelope just like we did this piece. And that's our card. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. How to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, or color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find lots of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for stamping. You can learn about my Evernote notebook. I have a note for every current product that Stampin' Up! Has for sale right now. It really makes finding just exactly what you want very easy. And you can create your own notebook and search through all of the things that you own to find just what you need. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.